Shabbat Shalom, boys and gentlemen. My name is Schmeckelboy, and welcome to my 10-step guide on how to be a comp beast. Today's lesson is on ladder endurance. This is literally the easiest shit on planet Earth. First step, don't do it in first person. You can kind of get like a feel for it, but eventually you're not gonna do so well. And you usually I tend to go this way, and especially when you transition, you see. You have to pretty much guess transitioning, because if they say, oh, we're breaking the top ladder now, I would have been out. So this is the proper strategy for ladder endurance. It's not just, oh, do it in F5 mode. That's not the key, because you need to figure out what ladder endurance actually is, and the best way to solve any problem, this isn't just in Mind Man, the best way to solve any problem is to simplify it into something a little bit more easy to understand. Because simply tapping W on a ladder is a little bit vague. Like, at what point of the ladder is it okay for us to be on? Is there a way to go too high or too low? Well, we know there is, because we can fall off or we can walk on top of the block. So how do we visualize that? So of course, you're probably thinking, oh, yep, F3B. If you're on a Mac, go fuck yourself, buy a Windows keyboard, and use Windows and buy a regular keyboard, rather, not buy a Windows keyboard. I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. But when we have F3B up, we can see our hitbox, where we're facing, all that jazz. We can make sure we're facing exactly straight. You can also do this with the F3 menu and the facing thing. You can make that that thing next to towards positive Z, make that equal to 0 or -0 as close as possible. That will make sure you're facing exactly straight. But more importantly, we can get a visual on how the ladder itself works. So if you're just playing around with this, you can seem to notice, as long as this bottom line where our feet are is touching the ladder, we press W, we'll be able to go up. But the moment we drop down, our feet below it, we fall. There's no way to get back up, and you can sort of see this by trying to get on the ladder. Like, you can only get on if your feet are above it. And the moment your feet go above, hey look, you're on top of the block. So this simplifies the problem into how do you press W on a ladder, into how do you make it so that this one line that our feet are on is on the ladder as much as possible. And that's relatively simple. There are a few techniques, but the main method I use is to sort of just get a feel of how far up you go when you press W. And this takes practice. So luckily I have a very easy guide to how to do this, and I'm going to demonstrate it with one ladder. So let's see, without me using the strat, I'm just gonna be looking at the bottom. You can, like the bottom of my thing with the hitbox and the line. You can see, just using my general feel, I'm tapping W when I feel like I'm getting too low and when I won't go too high. But there's a better way to do this, and I'm gonna be using that better way now. And at least for me, this is a lot more comfortable. I'll show you what that is. It looks the same, but it's basically using a different point of reference. If you test this out with your own skin, you can customize it to however you want it. But for me, my orange pants are about like 2/3 of the way up. My pants, like my legs rather, and if you just tap W, if it's 2/3 of the way up your leg. So for me, when it touches the orange, you'll be good. That's about how much it takes for you to get back up out of your pants. Might need to press it twice or whatever. Another tip is don't do this while you're like talking, and also make sure to pay attention to the bottom of your character as well, in case you fuck up a little bit. So you can get this a little bit more precise. I'd say probably around the bottom of my pants is where I like to try and aim, because sometimes if you go at the top, you can fall down like that. So you can specialize this to however way you want it, but for me this is good, and to just pay attention to the bottom of my feet. And this does take a little bit of practice, because the tapping itself, you have to be very, very precise with how you're tapping. You don't want to tap too long, or else you walk on top, and you don't want to miss a tap, or else you'll fall. So this does take a little bit of practice, but for people that say, oh, I can't do this, I'm not good at challenges, I'm literally tapping one button. I don't have any special talent or skills. It's literally just me having practiced tapping one singular button. And this is why I get confused when people say, oh, I'm not good at challenges, I can't be good at challenges, is because if this was a game like StarCraft or League or something like that, where there's like a billion different fucking options, a billion different buttons, key combinations, you know, spells, all that shit, I'd agree with you. It does take a certain sort of set of skills to do that. But this game is WASD space shift control E. Don't know if I missed any. Pretty much just that, and clicking and placing and moving. It's not that complex of a game. It's a lot of different techniques that you need to learn, and this is my first step for you to become a genius parkour master, like good old Schmeckelboy. If you want a target that you should aim for, I would try being able to do this for 2 minutes straight. You'll probably have to go longer in an actual game, but I'd say at 2 minutes, that's the point where the boys separate from the men, because a lot of people can last for up to 2 minutes, but only pretty good people can make it past 2 minutes. I think the longest I've ever gone, I think it was probably against someone like Dahlia or Killer, one of those two, and that lasted 2 or 3 minutes. So if you can last up here for 2 minutes, ladder endurance will be a lot easier for you, and you'll end up winning it. Ladder endurance is starting to get used a little bit more, I think, which I'm not a fan of. Well, I guess I am a fan of it because I'm good at it now when I didn't used to be. But I do think it's a bad challenge, but it's something that everyone knows and everyone needs to learn. So yeah, I'll learn it. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. If you're Canadian, suck my dick. Goodbye.